So, thank you for joining us at Switch's Q&A session. We are here with Zach Galant, co-founder of CodeHS. How are you doing today, Zach?
I'm doing just fine.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about CodeHS and how it got started?
Sure. So CodeHS is a program to teach computer science online to high schoolers. We work with high schools all over the country to provide them with a curriculum, tools, teacher resources, and tracking tools so you can seamlessly run a computer science class at your high school, even as a teacher with little to no experience. That includes professional development opportunities for teachers who have no experience coding, so they can teach a coding class as well. We've been around for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. We got started, my co-founder Jeremy and I were TAs at Stanford, TAing the main introductory computer science classes there. We were for CS106A and CS106B. So while we were there, we taught thousands of students at Stanford. We were able to guest lecture. We graded a lot of assignments. We worked closely with the professors. And we saw that there was a huge need and desire to learn more computer science, especially at the high school level. And there was so little available for high school students at that time. So we started CodeHS to create something that would be a really great resource for kids in high school to learn to code.
Great. Were there any challenges to starting CodeHS, like coordinating with the different schools? Did you have a lot of teaching experience before this?
Yeah, so Jeremy and I both had a good amount of teaching experience between TAing at Stanford for 3 years each, and I had run a summer camp for 6 years before that, where I taught kids to create their own video games. So we had a lot of teaching experience, and we were really excited about what we were teaching, so we found that that was a strength. One of the main challenges has always been just finding schools and finding people to learn on CodeHS, and part of that is, getting schools to fit you into their cycle. They're very seasonal, and they make decisions often at one point in the year for the entire year, and then they don't make another decision on purchasing or curriculum for a long time after that. And also just dealing with the bureaucracy of schools. But it's something that we're working on and really improving, and we think that schools are such a great distribution channel that it's really worth making sure that we can get into schools, because that's where the students are and that's where they're learning to make the most impact. So dealing with that bureaucracy is something that's kind of a necessary evil.
Nice. Is this just for high school students, or are you thinking about reaching middle schoolers?
Our target is high schoolers. We do have some middle schools that are signed up and middle school students that have done it. It's a curriculum that's aimed at a high school level, but we do have, the advanced middle schoolers can definitely do it, and some of the stuff is easy enough for middle schoolers. Right now, we're not planning immediately to create content for middle schoolers, but are more likely to create more professional level content and build up so a high schooler can get started on CodeHS and then continue learning. It's available for any school, but it's also available for anyone online, adults, to go sign up for CodeHS. They can create an account and learn, and we do have hundreds of adults who are all signed up as members on CodeHS and learning on their own.
Nice. What goes into creating curriculum for high schoolers? How would this be different than a boot camp? Do you need to have a long curriculum that they need to keep on doing over and over again?
Yeah, so it's different from a boot camp in that it's really targeted towards a high school classroom rather than a boot camp. A boot camp, they are mostly adults who are working 18-hour days or something like that in a very short period of time, and that requires one way of working. And in high school, we have found that it's very important to make sure that you understand what a high school classroom looks like and what teachers need on a day-to-day basis, and provide the tools for that. So the curriculum is very much based on lessons and getting kids the repetition that they need to get it, understanding that there might be a few days or a week in between classes, giving teachers the resources they need to mix up the classroom. They don't want to be just coding all day, every day, just for an hour straight. They want to have discussion questions and exercises that reinforce concepts that aren't necessarily working on the computer. They want to do some pair programming or group projects or group discussion and really mixing it up and giving the tools to the teachers to make sure that they can do that and they have the ability to do that is really important when designing curriculum.
Nice. If an interested high schooler teacher wanted to be part of this program, do they just go on to your website?
Yeah, they can just go to CodeHS.com. They can sign up for a teacher account for free and start working on our free content. Once they hit the end of that content, they can get in touch with us, and we can set them up with a school membership.
Nice. If somebody wanted to apply to be a mentor, like what kind of traits are you looking for in instructors or mentors?
Yeah, so we have tutors that we hire. They're almost all college students majoring in computer science or related fields from all around the country, and they are not just knowledgeable in programming, but excited about teaching and excited about helping other students and improving their own abilities by helping teach. So we really think that there is a great opportunity for college students all over the country, not only to get paid, but to really learn and improve their own skills. So we have almost 100 tutors that we've hired up to this point, and we're continuing to hire them. And they help grade and give feedback and give help to students all over the world who are taking CodeHS.
Nice. What do you have in store for the future for CodeHS other than finding more schools and improving the curriculum?
So we're definitely planning on making more years of curriculum. We're in the process of building an AP Computer Science course in Java. We've got a really exciting tool that will let you run Java in the web browser, which is not as easy as running JavaScript in the web browser because you have to send the program to a server to compile it, run it, and send back the output. But we're building that course, and we'll have that ready by next school year. We're also planning on building an AP Computer Science Principles course, which is the new AP Computer Science class that's coming out and starting in 2016 or 2017, and more content to let students continue learning, hopefully in web development and other related areas.
Nice. Do you believe that code literacy is the new digital literacy? Where do you see the future of education moving?
Absolutely. I mean, we like to say, we have a slogan we use is read, write, code. And what that means is that, in the past it would have been crazy to think that anyone would graduate from high school without learning to read or write. And we think in the future that coding will be just as important as reading and writing for graduating from high school. Because it's such a fundamental skill, it allows you to understand and use coding to work on problems in any sort of industry. Any industry has technology and some sort of programming behind it, whether it's your car has software that's written to help it run or help it be safer, or if you're in a doctor's office and it's helping you diagnose patients or even store medical records or data. Coding is very foundational for something that everyone will be working on no matter what field they're in. So we feel that it's extremely important that students get a basic understanding of that in high school the same way they would the same other foundational skills.
Nice. How early do you think people can start learning coding, like grasping these concepts, like as early as preschool, maybe?
Well, we're definitely still focused on high school, and we feel like there's a right place to introduce certain ideas, because it's not good to introduce something to someone before they're ready for it, because then they'll think it's too hard for them and that they can't do it. That being said, there are a lot of great tools that people are making and building to teach younger kids that make it a little bit easier and give them a better chance to succeed by taking away some of the things that are tougher, like syntax and typing, by making drag and drop languages, or even making games that require you to think like a programmer and think logically in order to complete the game and in order to win it. So I think that kids can start really, really young, even in preschool, with certain games and puzzles that will help them really develop those thinking skills to think logically, and then keep on building on that until they're ready to start programming.
Nice. Okay, so a fun question. What is your favorite part of your job in starting CodeHS? What excites you?
I love that we're making a real impact on real people, and it's a direct impact. So every day we get an email from a teacher, and they say, "Wow, this is so amazing! I can't get my kids to stop. They won't even go out to recess," or something like, have never seen my kids so engaged in anything they've done in their school." And that's just really exciting to know that we are creating something that is not only something that will help solve a greater societal problem by helping, educate way more people, but something that is really getting kids and teachers excited on a day-to-day basis. So that's the most rewarding part for me.
That's awesome. Do you have any updates you'd like to add about CodeHS?
I think we touched on most of the things. One thing we didn't really talk about too much was we released a professional development course this summer, which is aimed at teachers, and that is a great way for teachers who are interested in teaching programming or who are teaching programming because they were thrust into the role because their principal said, "Hey, you took a class in college once, right? You teach this class." And we have that course available. It's been getting great reviews so far and really helping teachers in the classroom both learn to program and learn to teach programming by giving them common tips for debugging and working through in a blended classroom model.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions, Zach. We really appreciate you joining in with us despite all the technical issues. Please keep in touch with us.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. All right.
All right.